Hi, everybody. I'm Gloria Moraga. This is the Political Woman podcast. Wanted to share some information with you before Friday begins. It is actually Friday now, January 10th, 2025. There was breaking news today. There was actually a lot of stuff going on today. And I will start with an update on the Donald Trump and the trials of Donald Trump, our president-elect. And this is the case of the payments to a porn star. He was tried and convicted by a jury of his peers and found guilty. Trump, for some reason, is trying to stop his sentencing. And so at the last minute, he filed an appeal to the United States Supreme Court. He also called one of the justices and talked on the phone, and he lost. So I'll just quote. The United States Supreme Court on Thursday denied President-elect Donald J. Trump's emergency bid to halt his criminal sentencing in New York, all but ensuring it will proceed as planned today. So in a couple of hours, or it could have already happened depending on when you watch this. In a brief, unsigned order, a 5-justice majority noted that Mr. Trump was not facing jail time and that he could still challenge his conviction in the ordinary course of an appeal. So they won't step in and save him. Now, it was a 5-4 decision. And of course, his 4 cronies tried to save him, but they didn't have enough votes. So here's how they voted. The majority included Chief Justice John Roberts, Justices Sotomayor, Justice Amy Coney Barrett, and Justice Kagan, and Ketanji Brown Jackson. So 4 of the court's most conservative justices, and the ones that I think are, as crooked as the yellow brick road, Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, who has that wife, likes to fly flags weirdly, Gorsuch, and Kavanaugh. They dissented, but without providing reasons for their dissent. So the sentencing is set for the crack of 9 a.m., 9:30 in Manhattan. So Trump's going to appear virtually, and the judge has already said you're not getting any jail time, and you're not, nothing bad is going to happen to you. So what's the hubbub, bub? But apparently, he doesn't want to be a convicted felon, even though he's already been convicted. So who knows? But I guess he doesn't want people to say on Inauguration Day, convicted felon, convicted felon, convicted felon, which I don't know. I don't blame him. And he did say this about this. Here's a soundbite.
And as you know, they acknowledge what the judge said about no penalty, and there's no penalty. But we're going to appeal anyway, just psychologically, because frankly, it's a disgrace. It's a judge that shouldn't have been on the case. He's a highly conflicted judge, and they called for an appeal. So I read it, and I thought it was a fair decision, actually. So I'll do my little thing tomorrow. They can have fun with their political opponent. As you know, I'm under a gag order from a judge. This is a first.
So, wow. Okay. I guess the news is that 5 of the justices aren't going along. So this is good. I think the Chief Justice has made some comments about, we've got to make sure that the court is perceived as, not being crooked or something. And that may be why he voted with, let Trump appeal later. So Trump said today, or yesterday, oh, they said I could appeal. They said I could appeal. It's like they didn't say, they just said, yeah, appeal later if you want. It's not like they said, yes, please appeal. And in another Trump case, the classified documents case, federal appeals court on Thursday said that it is not going to block the Justice Department from releasing a report by special counsel Jack Smith about the two now closed investigations he conducted into President-elect Donald J. Trump. So you know Jack Smith, whom I named my dog after, was in charge of the classified documents case and the January 6th case, thwarting justice, trying to overturn the election results. So those were his two cases. And that crooked judge down in Florida, I'm sorry, but she said, oh, yes, we're going to block a release of that. But the appeals court, which is a conservative court, overruled her. And so she makes the worst decisions. But someone said that she's aiming for a seat on the Supreme Court. Oh, no! So this information from Jack Smith, we could get it as early as Sunday. So I'll be watching that, and I'll keep you posted. And of course, there's other stuff going on Capitol Hill. Trump met with senators, Republican senators, and then Trump had a powwow down in Mar-a-Lago with governors, Republican governors. So there's other stuff going on. The Democrats talked about their agenda, and Republicans talked about their agenda on Capitol Hill. I'll just be covering that as it comes up. And of course, the other, two big stories, of course, the fires. And I just want to say, please, I'm begging you, be smart. Don't believe all the BS that's going on about the fires and such. Believe me, I've covered agriculture news in California for years as a young reporter. I know all about the smelt and all about water and the water wars between North and South. It's a pickle. But, when Trump and others say, you've got to store the water and turn on the spigot and let the spigot run down to Southern California. My friends, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way at all. And everyone, despite the fact that we've had some wet years, we're still in sort of a drought situation, and there's still issues here. So please don't, when somebody's commenting on my feed about, if you just do what Trump said, no, what he said is not possible, and it never happened. He's just making stuff up and picking it out of, the horse's butt. Don't, just, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to move on. That was one that's ongoing, the fires. My dog just woke up, and now I think he wants to go out, so I'm going to have to take a break and potty him out. The other big story, of course, is Jimmy Carter's memorial service. And, do I have things to say about the service, about what happened before the service, okay? Before the choir sang and the coffin was brought in, with all the military honors. I want to talk about this. All right, take a look at this. All the presidents together, and vice presidents, and Pence, and Dan Quayle's there, and the missus, but here's the shot of the day, okay? The shot of the day is Obama sans Michelle. So Michelle, apparently, according to official reports, there was a scheduling conflict. Right. Michelle didn't want to come. Michelle's not coming. But what scheduling conflict? So President Obama was there alone and was seated next to Trump. So you can say that he got the short end of the stick. They drew straws and he drew the short straw. But man, oh man, look at them. They were having fun. They were chatting it up, laughing. I'm going to have more on this circus before the funeral in another video. I'm going to put it together right now because I was doing a play-by-play earlier for a couple of friends, and they said, you got to record this. So I'll do that, but I wanted you to hear the soundbite from Carter's grandson about Pawpaw.
In my church, we sing a song that says, from the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, I will sing of the goodness of God. I don't know how many people in here can say that. I know I can't. But my grandfather certainly can. From the moment that he woke up until he laid his head, his life was a testament to the goodness of God. And I thank all of you for being here to celebrate this life. To the presidents and first ladies, it is a great honor to have you here. You know the human side of the American presidency like no others, and we appreciate you. To the vice presidents, other distinguished guests and friends of all kinds, thank you for being here. To those of you who came from all across the world, thank you for being here to celebrate and pay tribute to my grandfather. I say grandfather, but we called him Pawpaw, as many of you know. We called my grandmother Mom Carter, so we spent our time talking about Mom and Pawpaw, and mostly, speaking of the human side of the presidency, just letting people know that they were regular folks. Yes, they spent 4 years in the governor's mansion and 4 years at the White House, but the other 92 years they spent at home in Plains, Georgia. And one of the best ways to demonstrate that they were regular folks is to take them by that home. First of all, it looks like they might have built it themselves.
All right, you could say what you will about Jimmy Carter's presidency, but Jimmy Carter, the man, the human being, was an unbelievably successful person. He lived his values. He lived what he believed. He believed in God, and he followed that. And family man, and just an all-around great man. And the measure of him, the measure of Jimmy Carter, look, all these people, all these leaders, these presidents, these vice presidents, together. He brought them all together. And that's the kind of man Jimmy Carter was. And this says it all. And so I'll leave you with it. I'll leave you with some music from the memorial service. And, history will prove one of the greatest men and presidents that ever lived, Jimmy Carter. There's a lot coming out now about him that nobody knew. Who knew? I'm Gloria Moraga, political woman. Please subscribe. Stay tuned. Watch for that other video of the presidents before the funeral. Please subscribe. Please follow me. I'm on TikTok. We'll know soon what's going to happen with TikTok. And follow me here on YouTube. Be safe.